Does not work. Can you guys see me now? Oh no. Did I just do this whole thing like not properly at all? Uh-oh. So let's hold on a second here, folks. So can you guys see me now? And let me know if you couldn't see me before, because then I'm gonna have to start this whole thing over. And if that's the case, I'm super sorry about that. Let's just see. Anybody? So hold on a second here. Where are we? What day is today? So can you see the video now, anyone? Oh no, did I totally mess this up this week? I think I might have totally messed this up. Where is... I can't even see this here. Hold on one second, folks. If you are still there, can you just started seeing video? Oh no, so that means you didn't see any of this. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. Why didn't anybody say anything? Oh, that sucks. I'm so sorry, everyone who's here. And now I'm gonna... Well, I'm sorry about that, everybody. So, all right, well, I guess we're gonna start again, if that's okay. We're gonna quickly, technology, man. I'm sorry, everyone who's sort of, did anyone see the beginning of the video at all? Or like, I can't see it here on my iPad. I'm gonna see if I can find it on my screen here. But did anybody see the actual beginning of the video, or is it totally like a complete loss? Just started seeing the video, so this, I'm gonna assume that just thought you were running behind. No worries. All right, so, well, okay, so I don't know how this is working. Let me just see if this is, I can't even, all right, so, okay, so sorry folks, I've clearly messed everything up. I've been crafting by myself here, and I could see everybody's comments on the screen, and I was wondering why nobody was actually responding to what I was saying, but I thought you guys were just being quiet, and now, so, all right, totally gonna redo this, and I'm absolutely sorry for everybody who's been sitting there waiting for me to start. So, let's try this again. I guess I'm sorry for the mess up, but I'm Catherine from Katherine Learn Stuff, and clearly I'm learning stuff today because I must have not hit the right button and things were not recording as they should have. So we are going to do some crafting unscripted. So let's make this official this time. All right, I'm really sorry about that. So hopefully you can hear me and hopefully you can see me now. And what I was trying to do today was I was trying to make some pop-up cards, and that's what I've been doing by myself here for the last 20 minutes or so. And we're gonna start it again, so I'll give you an idea here, but someone asked the other week about making pop-up cards, and I don't have sentiments for these cards. I just want to go blah blah blah. I'm gonna try this again. I'm just gonna go over some concepts of how to make the cards so that we have like the ideas of cards. So we're going to start off again here with cards. I have a whole pile that I've already done, but we'll do them again. I've learned how to make parts of them, so I might not make as many mistakes. So the first thing that we're going to do is all of my friends who are in northern parts of the world, let's say, northern parts of the US. I saw some people from Minnesota. I'm up in Ontario, Canada. We're getting snow today, and I'm done with snow. Like, we've had so much snow this winter, and I'm done. So I got like an inch of snow yesterday and last week, and I'm getting more snow today, and I don't want snow. I want spring. So if you're getting snow, let me know, because I give snow a big thumbs down. So boo to snow. Yay to spring, hopefully showing up. So I've got these cards, and these are like 5.5 by 8.25 roughly. They're from the dollar store. I find this is a good size to like make homemade cards with. And so I'm folding this card in half with my fancy folding skills. You can, like, if you've got like a bone thing, whatever they're called, you can flatten it there, but I've got just use my scoring stylus. So I've got my card here, and when we're doing sort of pop-up cards, you need to make sure that you are being sort of straight. You want your top lines and bottom lines to be straight, because otherwise they don't always work out very well. So I'm just gonna use my ruler for the measurements, and I'm gonna actually mark it off with pencil and I'm not going to be using my Cricut for this. I'm just doing this by hand because I don't find that doing some of these cards works well with the Cricut. Flooding and tornadoes. Oh, that does not sound very nice. Deal, I'm sorry you are going through that. I think I would prefer snow over that, what you're getting. So I won't complain about my snow. So right now I'm just drawing 2 lines, and I'm just using the width of my ruler here, which is about just over an inch above and below my fold lines. And I've got, and I'm making this one big, but you can make it smaller, and I'll show you some other sizes later as well. And I'm just going to use the width of my ruler again to draw out my rectangle here. Now, that's my rectangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be cutting these lines here and here with my fancy utility knife. Now, I use like a full-on utility knife because that's what I got. I'm special. I have like a little fancy cutesy one, but I find that it falls apart every time I try to use it. And I don't want to be cutting myself more than I already do, so I use this super heavy duty knife. If you have one, let me know what you use. Do you use like a smaller one, like an X-Acto knife, or like a utility knife like I do, or a box cutter or whatever? Let me know if you can. So I'm curious. I've got this one that it came with a sewing set that for when I'm doing my sewing and stuff, but it's terrible, so it falls apart all the time. So, and I clearly need to change the blade because nothing's cutting through. So, feels like the story of my life when my tools are used and dull and half of my supplies have been finished off, but that's okay. All right, so I've cut this through and I've got the ability to put my fingers through. Now these lines here that I've already done, I'm going to be scoring them with my scoring stylus so that I can fold them better. You don't need to, but I find that this helps me fold it in the right spot. Now if you don't have a scoring stylus, you can just like use an edge of any sort. And we're just going to fold this along the score line in the inside of this rectangle. And now I'm going to fold this guy shut. Now, normally with these cards, what you need to do is you need to have like a backing that goes on top of it or on the front of it, around it, so that you don't see all the open spots. So with this sort of card, this is like, you can have it open this way or this way, whichever way you want. The thing that's important to note about these cards is that you're going to be gluing on your sentiment or your design here. The design can only sort of be like from here to here big. It can't be bigger, and I'll show you why. So if I were to glue this little Christmas guy on here and I close my card, it's going to come right to the edge of the card. And that's this size here. If you have it bigger when you fold the card, like if I were to do it this way and you fold the card, it's going to pop out of your card. So you don't want that. So you want to have it kind of like this. But you can do like a card like this, like to have like a little sentiment in there. Now, I'm not gluing any of this stuff in. I'm just going to show you what's happening here. So that's one option for a card. Now we're going to do a different one. I'm going to keep my backing because I'm going to do that. And I'm going to find another card here. I got some more white paper. So that was the first one, and it's just a simple rectangle. Next, we're going to do another rectangle, but we're going to do a different one. So again, I'm going to fold my card in half. I'm going to try to fold this nicely. Now with this kind of card that I'm going to fold here, you don't always having this one pre-folded isn't the greatest, but it'll still work, so it's not a huge deal. And if you're going to be adding a sentiment or whatever onto this later, it will work. So I'm going to, now from the top of my card, I'm going to make a line sort of full width of my ruler. And now down here at the bottom, I'm going to try to do like half of a ruler. And again, and I'm actually going to make this one like half the size here maybe, because I want to show you, because I just, when I was talking to myself earlier, I already made one that was big size, so I'm going to make one that's a bit smaller. So I'll show you the two differences. Now again, I'm going to cut this here, and hopefully this will cut through after 73 pulls through. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, did it work? Oh, it did not work. I was so sure I could feel my table underneath, or my work mat underneath, but clearly it didn't go through. Okay, so now I got a hole here all the way through, both sides. Now this time when I'm doing this, I'm going to do again score lines on the top and the bottom so that it helps me fold this, but I'm going to fold this a little bit differently. So I'm going to fold these score lines so they actually fold where they're supposed to on the top and the bottom. But now I'm actually going to push this bottom part in, and I'm going to have my card fold up here instead. And I'm going to squish this down. And now I've got like a small or a large rectangle, depends on how you look at it. So what you can do with this kind of card, and depending on which way you open it or set it up, and again, this is going to be like on a backing, you can have like a small little sentiment here and then like a big sentiment here, or you could open it like this and have a flower in here and then have the flowers pop out. I guess I should have done this maybe upside down, but it's the same idea. So I did it when I was by myself here earlier. I did the same one, but just like fatter. So you could again do a bigger one or a smaller one and then have a small edge here and a long edge here, and that'll give you an option to do like, you could do like a flower box, or you could do like just a different type of sentiment there. So that's for the same one there and there. So next, hopefully that makes sense to everybody. If it doesn't make sense, just like say, Catherine, you're not making sense, and we'll try it again. Okay, I've got 2 more ideas that I'm going to try to go through, and hopefully we can get them done. But first I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Tea. So, all right, again, we're going to fold our card. I mean, you can buy pre-folded cards and stuff, but I like to buy this paper at the dollar store because it's cheap in that it's inexpensive, but it's good quality. I don't know if it's great quality, but for giving away mass amounts of cards, I find it's pretty good. So again, fold the card, but this time we're going to do this differently. We're actually going to work on the back of the card, and I'm going to make a triangle here, maybe if I can, and it's going to be a bit of a weird triangle. So I'm going to draw my triangle here. Maybe I'm going to draw my triangle if my pencil cooperates. But on this top part, I'm not going to go straight. I'm actually going to go down a little bit. And maybe I'll connect my lines. Maybe I won't. We'll see how this all goes. Okay, so I've got a triangle. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this part, and I'm going to cut it through both the flaps of my card. And then I'm going to score this one. And I'm going to score this really hard because if I do it hard enough, it'll actually show up on the other side of the paper. And that's what I need because I'm going to fold this weird. So bear with me as I try to cut this for the, and try to cut it all the way through. Okay. Yes, I did it. And now I'm going to score this one. I'm going to score this a few times because if I do it hard enough, it'll actually show up on the inside of my card. So you can actually see here, maybe. I'm going to move this around and maybe you can see it, but the score line is there, so it's going to help me fold this. I'm going to fold this inwards. So I'm going to fold into my card and I'm going to fold it along this triangle here. And this score line, if it's not thick enough, I can go over it because I can see it, but I think it's pretty good. And I'm going to fold this card this way here. And now, if all goes well, I'm gonna just fold this. Now I've got like a V here. So for like this one here, what I could do is I could put flowers in here, or have like a fancy statement, or have it sort of pop out this way as like a, I don't know, a rocket or something. But it gives you an idea of a different shape that you can use. And so then you can also add more like designs in here, like change the paper up so that you've got like, if this is going to be a vase, you can make the vase sort of same color inside and out. So that's like another idea for a card. So again, you need like a backing for this. So that's that one there. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, let's see what else I got on my design notes here. Okay, let me grab some more paper. Fortunately, I've got a bunch of birthdays coming up for my kids to go to, so all these pop-up cards are going to turn into something. So another card that I'm going to throw out of my hands is another different type of pop-up card. And this one, and again, I'm going to fold this. I'm going to try folding this here, Gonna see if everything's working here. If you are still with me, let me know. If you're not with me, I guess you can't let me know. Okay, so again, we're gonna do the same thing, but this time, let me look at my sketch here, folks, because I had to come up with some sketches beforehand. So we're going to do, this one's gonna be a little bit different. So, going to do my lines. And I'm going to do a second line. So this is going to be similar to the very first one that we did. And I'm just doing the width of my ruler just because that's kind of it's an easy measurement. And like I said before, we want this to be straight. And now, whoops, I'm going to do something silly here. I'm going to do one line here and one line here. And then I'm going to move in one more spot on each one here. I'm going to do one line here. That's not big enough. Oh well, we'll make it work. Okay, so I'm gonna have this. So I'm gonna cut here, 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 and here. Still here, perfect. Thank you, everybody. All right, so I'm gonna cut these guys here in these 4 spots. Now, if all goes well, which I'm hoping this will work out, this will give us a different fancy fold. So then there's lots of different types of sort of ways that you can do this and make this sort of pop. But I just wanted to go through a few different ideas, and like I'm trying to stay with like, I'm gonna say big dimensions. So this is kind of like popping and looking big at us because I want to be able for you to see what I'm doing. If you make it too small, it'll be hard for you to see what I've done here. Okay, none of my holes cut. All right, I need to write myself a note to change my blade here because this is a little bit ridiculous. Like I can feel the table underneath my knife and it's not cutting through. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'm just gonna cut for the next 3 days this one little line that doesn't want to go through. Okay, that one's good. I apologize for my inability to cut. That one's going too far. Well. All right. Okay. And now I'm going to score here, 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 and here. I might score this other spot in a second. We'll see how this folds on me in a sec. All right, and now we're going to try folding the score lines that I've made. Maybe we'll fold the score lines that I made. I think I've not. Why isn't that cut out? This actually has to go farther. So this guy's got to go a little bit farther. Bear with me, folks. I made a mistake. I'm going to go to here. I don't think this one's going to work. Maybe it will, but I'm feeling less optimistic about this one. All right, and I got a score here. All right, we're going to score this. Fold here at this spot, and we're going to fold this guy here and here. All right, and now I'm going to try to. This piece here is going to fold inwards, so the fold will be up here, not down here, and this guy should fold nicely in this spot. And maybe this will work. Fingers crossed, everybody. Now I've got like this double-sided one. So this one's out far. You can see it's out far here, and this one's in close. So if you were to want to do, for example, like a birthday cake, you make a little cake design here, and then you can make a candle here, or you could have, I don't know what, some other design. And again, this would be on a backing of some sort so that you don't see the inside or the outside of the card when you actually open and close it. So with this one, again, I'm just going to go over this because I messed this one up. This top little bit has to go past this fold line in order for this to work. And the farther you go in, the more this will pop out. So it kind of pops out like that. All right, one more card. Hopefully you guys can hang around for a few more minutes to go over the last card, if I can find a piece of paper. All right, last one. This is a repeat sort of the ones that we've done, but it's a little bit to give you a different idea, because sometimes I find that the biggest issue I have about crafting is I don't have the basic idea, and I can run with that once I've gotten it, but if I'm stuck on that first little idea, things aren't working so well for me. So I'm going to all right, I'm gonna make a bunch of lines. Bear with me. I'm gonna do one line this way here. You know what? I'm gonna do a whole way across. I'm gonna mess this up anyways, probably, so and then I'm gonna do one line all the way out here. And out here. Okay, so this one's gonna have 3. Thank you for the comment there, Pebbles. This one's gonna have 3. So the one in the middle is gonna be big, and then there's gonna be 2 small ones on the side. So I'm going to make these a little bit smaller than the ones I've done in the past because we might run out of space. So bear with me for a second. Now I'm doing this with pencil, right? I told you I'm gonna draw these out with pencil. If you practice this stuff more, you can actually do this easier without having to do pencil lines everywhere, right? But the idea is that if you do it with pencil, you can just erase the pencil and the pencil will sort of hide everything later. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so now I'm going to have 3 pop-ups. I'm going to have this little one here, so I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut this big long one, this long one, and then this little one again. Now, if I had a fast forward feature, I would fast forward this because clearly my cutting skills today are abysmal, but you know, we do what we can. So this is what we got. And so again, I'm going to cut the small one first. I'm going to move over to the big one. That felt like it went all the way through. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. We're moving on to the big one now. Now, I'm not going to be erasing these lines in this video because that's just going to take up all of our time. But you need a good eraser. And so I've done the pencil thicker than I normally would have for something like this. But that was more so with that. So hopefully you can see it on the screen, because if I do it super thin and you don't see it, then that kind of defeats the purpose. All right. Everything cut through this time. Yes! We're making progress. And now I'm gonna score these lines here at the top of each of the boxes so that I can fold them easier. I can get the right lines and score in the right places. I'm gonna close this before I cut myself, even though it's dull, clearly. Okay, now we are going to fold these on the score lines that we just made. And if everything goes well, I've cut them enough that they will actually score all the way up to there. And all right, and now we've made a mistake. All right, so this one pops a little bit too much. So we'll need to remember that for the future, that this big one can't be super huge because it comes all the way out, unless we have a bigger envelope. But I mean, we can fix this because we're crafters, and crafters can, like, you know, come up with crazy solutions for things. So we're gonna add some more score lines, and we're gonna fold this inwards and fold this inwards, and now, bam! Nothing's showing here, and it's gonna pop like this. So you can have it like a super cool, fancy popper. So with something like this, again, always gotta have a backing piece to hide all the chaos that we have happening in the back. You can have 2 little small ones here at the side, one up front and one up high, and then like a design back here, and sort of have that sort of an idea. So even though this sort of didn't work out initially, we've saved the day and we've fixed it. So that's the idea. So let's quick review, just in case some people, I know a lot of you showed up here waiting for me to mess up today's video, but we've got some options here. We've got We've got the vase, like one, the triangle, that could be like a rocket ship or like a big, like a confetti thing or something. We've got this like super cool, super starry one. We've got this one, which is like, let me see if I can get all these to fit on my screen here. I've got this smaller one with the 2 levels. I've got this boxy one, which is like small. And then we've got just the same, well, I'm running out of space. And then we've got just this regular sort of shaped one, this regular rectangle. So we've got 5 different designs, and hopefully that gives you an idea of different things that you can do with pop-up cards, right? I did this sort of like, you know, right here. I did, you know, 5 minutes of research on how I should be folding it. But I mean, the idea is like, you just got to practice a little bit and you can get these all to work out. And so hopefully you can use this information and make yourself some pop-up cards. I didn't do any sentiments for these. I just, you know, I'll have to make some because my kids will want to, I'm sure they'll want to make some pop-up cards with these. But you can use this for birthday cards or for like Christmas cards or even like Mother's Day cards or whatever. Mother's Day cards. Maybe I'll make a Mother's Day card out of one of these ones. Anyways, that's a different story. So I'm going to apologize again for messing up the start of this, but I'm glad everyone who's stuck around to listen to me yabber on about making these cards. Hopefully you have learned something and they can be made into cards. And if you do make a card, let me know how it turned out. Let me drop me a note and, you know, show me how it turned out. I'm super curious to see if they worked out. Anyways, I want to thank you guys all so much. And remember, if you have an idea of what you would like me to do, drop me a note either now in the chat or in the comments below, or drop me an email. And I'll take a look and I'll add it to my list and see if I can add that to the to-do list of things to do crafting with. So there we have it. That's all for today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for hanging out with me today. And next week, no mess ups. Well, let's hope not, but you know, it's crafting unscripted, so that's how it kind of goes. Anyways, thanks everyone. Happy crafting.